it's a black box. We don't know what's going on with Binance, for example.
I've got to ask, what is this suit about?
Very closely guarded secret.
Community is the most important thing when it comes to meme coins, 100%.
More than anything, we strive to be relatable and entertaining.
Hi guys, and welcome to What's the Meta. I'm your host, Ryan S. Gladwin, and I'm joined by the marketing lead at Ponke, dressed as Ponke himself. How are you, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
So for those who don't know, Ponke is a Solana meme coin with a degenerate gambler monkey as a mascot, as you can see in front of you. The token peaked at a market cap over 300 million and is currently the 10th largest meme coin on Solana. So I guess really broad strokes, Ponke, who are you? What's the character about? And tell me a bit about your lore.
Yeah, we set out to make a relatable character and stand up a brand around that character. So he's totally original. He is meant to personify, I think, all of us in the trenches trading meme coins on Solana.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from not only the branding, but the memes and the style that have come out of it. It feels kind of Matt Furry inspired. Is that true, or am I looking in the wrong place there?
No, I think you're right. On the surface, Ponke looks like a derivative of Pepe, and what I think we can say about that is that it's intentional. And part of the reason there is that Pepe is relatable. Pepe is a meme that people know, but we created this monkey out of Pepe who has his own personality, his own interests, and his own antics that he gets up to. So we set out to do something that fit firmly in the meme coin space, in the meme realm, that people recognized and were open to. But then we created this character around that in order to create something wholly new. So when you see one of our reels on Instagram or on TikTok, what you're seeing is our original character. He's not inspired by really anything in those environments. He's inspired by us and our really endless creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned those antics that Ponke gets up to. What does Ponke get up to on the day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think that we're known for creating really fun, funny, and irreverent content. Ponke does a lot of stuff that is really suited to the crypto trader, but also the crypto curious, and really people just enjoy funny content on the web. We do a lot of pop culture stuff, which I think sets us apart. The brand is really kind of all encompassing at this intersection of memes, meme coins, crypto, and pop culture.
One thing I'm really interested to find out is who's the artist behind this? Is it a team of artists? Is it one particular person who came up with the idea? I feel like artists are normally, in the meme coin world at least, the ones that kind of get forgotten.
Very closely guarded secret.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We've got, we have a team that supports us. There's a couple of different animators, just a couple of different illustrators that we tap. A lot of the content truly originates with those creatives, but there's, folks like me on the team that help support from an idea generation perspective, and really helping to align on what we want to deliver, like what's happening in the space. We always try to be super relevant to whatever the meta is. The meme coin meta changes sometimes by the day, sometimes by the hour. Right now, we've seen a huge boom in AI coins. So we've created some content that shows Ponke in the computer, right? We do a lot to focus on what's timely, what's relevant. And a lot of that starts with the creative team.
I've got to ask, what is this suit about? Are you touring it around the world? Are you taking this to conferences, or do you just kind of watch TV in that outfit?
A little bit of both. When you set out to create a global brand, it's really important to connect with people. We've got, I think, 10 of these suits now that are really kind of all over the world, right? There's crypto events. We just had a crypto event in Singapore. We've had Dubai. Ponke wasn't at both of those, but the intention is to send this suit to those locations, to be there, to interact with Ponke traders and Ponke fans. We've got one in Latin America that's doing some touring around with musical artists that we've signed. We've got one, I think, out in LA, perhaps in Miami. So we're trying to put these kind of everywhere strategically so that we can show up where where Ponke's needed most.
I see you have this sort of military sort of helmet that you've got, and on the site you can like add it to your own PFP. It sort of reminds me of what Mog have got going on with their pit vipers. I guess what does this kind of symbolize for people putting that on their PFP?
Yeah, it's all about being in the trenches. The helmet is sort of this unifying symbol of all of us out here in the market trading meme coins in the trenches. For us, it's a way that allows the Ponke community to signal that they're part of the Ponke army, that they're part of the community, and for us to show that we're right there in the shit with you.
I really do think it comes across with the content you make, the art and stuff like that. It does feel very degenerate native. If I think that I maybe is the first person to say that word, but yeah, it feels degenerate native. But take me back to the beginning, man. I want to know all the way back when you first launched. How did that happen, and why did you decide to create Ponke?
Yeah, we saw the boom in meme coin trading happening at the end of 2023. Ponke launched on December 23rd of 2023 and very quickly saw a pretty rapid rise in its market cap. Like many coins, it calmed down, but what we had was a really strong brand foundation that we continued to build upon. And that's what we set out to do from the very beginning. We intended to create a brand that had global appeal. I think that we've more than accomplished that when you look at the reach that we have, the kind of virality that we've been able to achieve with a lot of our animated reels. But that's what it was. It was an opportunity to explore this booming scene, to create something that was original, to create something that was really high quality and that appealed to this whole new group of people in the market. And it's a market that we see growing today. And a big focus for us is how do we bring the 410,000 followers we have on Instagram into the Ponke army? How do we get them to put the helmet on, And we set out to do that from the jump. That was the intention. Can we bootstrap liquidity from a meme coin market in order to stand up a global brand? We've got some apparel launching. We just launched a product suite. And more than anything, we strive to be relatable and entertaining.
I think what's interesting is meme coins are so diverse, right? And you have some meme coins that were created by a random guy who pump and dumped it in the first 10 minutes and then it got like built up by a community. But by the sounds of it, at least, Ponke is a little bit more professional, I guess. You have a team behind it that were calculating and planning this launch. I guess, could you take me into that room? What is that like before you launch a meme coin? Because you're kind of approaching it like a legitimate company. You want to change culture and become a brand and stuff like that. I guess, how are you guys, before you launch it, taking yourselves seriously as a meme coin? Like, it's just a meme at the end of the day.
It is. You know what? I think I should say it's a bit of both. Like, we've got professionals on the team. We've got people with really cool backgrounds, with global brands, but we're a really small team and we couldn't do anything we do without the community and without the support. You're right. At the end of the day, it is a meme. Like, I should stress that. I could stress that endlessly. What we are trying to do is create content that is mimetic and entertaining, first and foremost. The brand stuff is an awesome follow on because you've got this following. Like, how do people continue to engage and how do you continue to grow your presence in the market? But like, to your point, like, we rely on the Ponke army to spread our message. And we've successfully, I think, captured those hearts and minds through the content that we create. And that's why people support us. That's why people put it out there into the world for us. We do have a lot of conversations about how do we create the next viral reel. There's maybe a little bit of calculus there. We certainly understand what works, but for us, the real like driving purpose behind that effort is to better understand how we can expand the growth opportunity of the token and of the brand's reach. So we don't approach it like a traditional business in terms of like, how do we generate revenue for Ponke? We think about how do we grow the impact of the token and of the brand, and then the community really does the rest. Like, we're a team of maybe 5 or 6 full-time people that think about what's going on with the brand. At the end of the day, the Ponke army is 60 plus thousand holders, hundreds of thousands of followers. And so they're doing the real work. We really wouldn't be anywhere without the power of the meme and the audience that meme resonates with.
Yeah, absolutely. I say it, I feel like every week at this point, but community is the most important thing when it comes to meme coins, 100%. I mean, as a community member, when your token is down however percent, it's hard for yourself. You're affecting your bags. But as a team member, I'm really curious on how that feels. I mean, Ponke, like every other meme coin, has gone up and it's gone down. What does it feel like in those low moments?
I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't slow us down in terms of our mission. We've got really great partners in the form of Wintermute, in the form of tier one exchanges. The content that we create consistently going viral, I think helps us in many big ways, not just from an adoption perspective, but also from the perspective that partners see that and brands see that and want to work with us. And it helps legitimize really what we're doing, and it legitimizes this truly original meme. The content doesn't stop, I guess, is the message there. And that's what we're here for. That's what gets us out of bed in the morning is like, how do we tap into this culture and how do we continue to impact the culture and shape the culture? So, irrespective of price, we're going to do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on those partners there, Wintermute, a market maker. I don't know if you've seen, but there's been a bit of drama lately of a couple market makers doing naughty stuff that you really shouldn't be doing. And meme coins have been distancing themselves from those projects. How important are market makers for meme coins and Wintermute for you?
Well, I think what's most important is just the way in which they support tier one exchanges. Ponke wouldn't be listed on a Kraken or a crypto.com or a KuCoin or a Bybit without a partner like Wintermute. We wouldn't be listed on Revolut. Revolut is, one of the largest, it is the largest neobank and crypto exchange in Europe. And without our partnership with Revolut, we wouldn't be listed there. Revolut provisions liquidity from Wintermute in order to generate revenue on their crypto exchange. And so they're really an essential partner both for the exchange, but also for us as the token.
Yeah, I'd love to get a little bit of insight into how those listings actually happen. It's sort of something that kind of happens behind the scenes. And I mean, Binance is the perfect example. When Mudeng and Goatsy recently got listed, they spiked huge amounts. And it's sort of what every meme coin is looking for. Bring me into that process of getting listed by Revolut.
Yeah, that's actually a great example because Revolut found us through Instagram. That was their first interaction with Ponke, was through the reach of our Instagram platform. I don't think a lot of people give us the credit that I think the team believes that we're due for hitting so many people. Our last reel, I think I'd have to double check, but it's over 10 million views in like 72 hours, which is just absolutely insane. But without that kind of reach, we may never have hit the contact at Revolut that ultimately reached out to us to list the token there. The process, in our experience at least, has been very collaborative. Exchanges want new users. A token like Ponke, a token like any other meme coin at this stage in the market, is offering them new user acquisition. And so they want what we've got, essentially. Working with these partners on collaborative marketing campaigns has been, I think, very intuitive in that respect. A lot of our content achieves more eyes than any of their content ever does. When we listed on Kraken a couple of weeks ago, the reel that we produced for Kraken was, I think, one of the most viewed pieces of most engaged with pieces of content that they released in the second half of the year. So it's not anything to slouch at, and that comes through in all of those conversations. A lot of like the listing particulars, it's a black box. We don't know what's going on with Binance, for example, with Coinbase, for example. If you're lucky enough to have an opportunity to talk to someone there's a lot of laws and regulation around a listing event. And so in terms of how that happens, it's very much a black box, I think, for good reason. But, I think suffice to say, people appreciate what we're doing. And we've found that to be true with every partner that we've worked with on the exchange side. And they've been very amicable to working with us on co-marketing. I think a lot of exchanges see the value now in what memes are able to do, just in terms of how they tap into the culture.
Yeah, you say about that black box. It's a black box that I'm trying to get into at the moment. Binance, if you're watching this, hit me up, because yeah, it's interesting what tokens do and don't get picked by those big exchanges. Binance recently published a blog where they basically spoke about, I don't know if you remember the whole Neuro situation. There was 1 million Neuro tokens and 2 of them got listed, and then they released a blog post that kind of explained that the reason why the other ones didn't get listed was they had some weird insider activity and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to see inside that box one day, but yeah, it is a very black box.
Well, we set out to be the only Ponke. There's only one Ponke, so there should never be any confusion in the market when it comes to which token you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys, at the time of recording, I think it's today actually that you're releasing Ponke Swap. Tell me a little bit about what this is and what your vision is for Ponke Swap and how this kind of feeds back into the meme coin.
Yeah, Ponke Swap actually soft launched about a week ago. It's a very simple swap and rewards platform. Users can swap any token on Solana for Ponke and vice versa. You can stake your Ponke or lock it up for a few different periods of time. I think we've got 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and a year. And you receive a share of the fees that are generated through the swaps. And then I think it's important to note that that's soft locking. If you lock your tokens, they aren't like taken away from you permanently until the unlock period is ended. You can unstake at any time. You just forfeit the rewards. So we wanted to make it very intuitive, very simple, and really serve as like an onboarding vehicle for people that might come to Ponke through social media. You can swap for Ponke right there on Ponke Swap. You can lock your tokens to show that you've got some faith in the future of the project. And then we also have something called Club Ponke, which is a token gated, we'll call it an alpha chat. It's a token gated chat that you can enter if you own 83,000 tokens. I might be a little high on that, but there's a certain number of tokens that you need to own in order to get into Club Ponke. And that's a token gated server on Telegram, a token gated group chat on Telegram that we recently launched. It uses a proprietary bot that we built in order to grant access. I think the big thing to note, like behind Ponke Swap, is that many meme coin teams might say that utility on a meme coin is bearish. For us, it was central to our listing strategy that I talked about. Like that, again, is sort of the sole focus of the team, is how do we push this brand forward? How do we grow this brand? And how do we grow the exposure of the token to new users? And the primary way to do that is by listing with more exchanges and growing that footprint of accessibility. I mentioned laws and regulations. Utility is very important in the crypto space in order to, I shouldn't say circumvent, but in order to satisfy certain definitions of what makes a token a security versus what makes a token a utility. And as we all know, trading securities is heavily regulated, and a lot of the biggest exchanges in the world, the neobanks of the world, they're very in tune with those laws and regulations, and wanting to make sure that not only are they protected, but the token teams that they list are protected from any kind of just anything that might impact the ability for the token to remain listed on a particular exchange.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is a lot of people, as you said, say meme coins don't need utility. I mean, I spoke to the Bonk guys recently who strongly disagree with that. But I guess, yeah, like you said, this really helps with your listings with Revolt. And I've kind of heard murmurings of maybe Coinbase around the corner and stuff like that. Is this something that those guys, as they reach out to you, you say, look, we've got utility coming around the corner?
Yeah, we no longer have to say it's around the corner. We can tell them it's here. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is a part of every conversation that we have with our partners. For us, we see it as an opportunity to continue to grow as well. Now we've got this foundation that we can add new utility to, new features to. We worked closely with the Bonk team, consulted with them to ensure that our rewards platform was safe and secure. We didn't want to repeat any of the mistakes that they may have made when they were launching their own platform, and they were super helpful in that regard. I think it is important to have some utility at some point when your token grows large enough. And, for us, we see it as really this educational vehicle, this onboarding vehicle, And then, of course, something that's central to those continued conversations with exchanges.
We've got to get to it. I'm interested in your content strategy. I mean, marketing is one of the biggest things for meme coins. And yeah, you guys are killing it. Crypto feels very Twitter native. And I think an interesting thing about you guys is that you've not just focused on Twitter, you've also done Instagram, like you mentioned, and TikTok, which traditionally feel a little bit more Web2. I guess, why did you opt to spread yourself across all of these social medias?
Really, for that reason, we wanted to be free of the noise. There's a lot of noise. There's changing narratives. There's a lot of different narratives going on crypto Twitter that we wanted to be free of. We also create totally original content. We've got these animators, we've got these illustrators. They're hand drawing everything. Nothing that we do is AI. And so we wanted to aim for the platforms that favored video, that favored illustration, and that favored that level of creativity that our team brings. Positioning ourselves on Instagram was really just obvious to us. I think another brand that's done this very well coming out of the Web3 space is Pudgy Penguins. Luca has very similar experiences to people on the Ponke team in terms of a history with brand development, brand growth in the Web2 world, and with success, with great success in the Web2 world. And so we knew right away we could apply those strategies to our brand. I think the first thing we did was stand up a Tenor account so that we had Ponke GIFs. Those GIFs are now viewed millions of times in a single day. I think we get on average 2 million views a day on Ponke GIFs across the spectrum. And that's only from Tenor. Unfortunately, we can't be on Giphy. They don't support Ponke because he looks like Pepe, and they've got filters for that.
Oh, wow.
Google will let anything fly on Tenor, and so we've had a lot of success there. We launched Instagram, we launched TikTok, we've got a YouTube account as well. The YouTube account hasn't quite seen the adoption, but I know that YouTube subscribes are just a little bit slower. It's a slightly higher barrier for entry in terms of building a following, but we've started to grow there as well. And I think, the other platforms, of course, speak for themselves. When you look at our Instagram, when you look at TikTok, where we've got, I think our most viewed reel is at 47 million views or something like that. So
yeah, just looking at it now, 46.3 million views and 4 million likes. That is it's an insane amount, especially for a crypto project. Do you think you guys are seeing this kind of traffic actually converting to buyers?
Yes and no. I think if you look at search trends, a lot of crypto trends peaked in March, maybe. It was around the time that all the ETFs had been passed, that Bitcoin and ETH were officially like in the stock market. That's when I think a lot of you can look at recent highs in the market, and a lot of stuff peaked around March. Of course, majors are up today, and over the last few days, October has been really good to us in the back half of the month. But a lot of memes saw this rapid peak that hit around February, March, maybe April, and then sort of a slow decline over the summer. I think public interest has just changed a little bit, and we're in this phase of maybe playing the long game on some of the more established coins. I don't even want to say established, because they're things that have only existed for 10, 11 months, if that. We're still in the process of being an established token. I do think it's worth highlighting that, public interest has waned a little bit, and you're always going to see opportunity. There will always be another trade. The new token of the day is going to run to 1 billion instantly when the meme strikes people's fancy in the right way. Mudang comes to mind, right? Like, Mudang is a cultural phenomenon outside of crypto Twitter. Mudang is like the biggest thing on TikTok, the biggest thing on Reddit, in the normie world. Ponke's not that yet. And we hope to get there by continuing to create the kind of content that we're creating. We know we've got anecdotal evidence. We've got real evidence in the form of Revolut that there is an impact in putting ourselves out there on these platforms, and that people are still coming in to the meme coin space. But I think the data shows that there's been a bit of a lull, and I think many of us in the meme scene are feeling really good about what the future might hold now that we've built this sort of like foundation for continued growth. A lot of people on crypto Twitter will tell you that 2025 is going to be the year of the bull. For us, it's not really something that we think about, because we're going to just keep going with the output that we're going with, regardless of what's happening in the market. But I would hope that that kind of forecasting bodes well for us.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Moodeng because that's another meme coin where I think their content strategy was particularly great. I don't know if you even noticed because it was something that I didn't notice for a long time. My brother was sending me, who's got no involvement with crypto, he was sending me Moodeng memes. And then one day he went, "Oh, this is going to be a meme coin, isn't it?" And then I clicked on the Twitter account and it was the meme coin account. It was by far the largest Moodeng fan account that was followed on Twitter, at least. That was a really good content strategy to get a big audience, at least. I guess my question then is, with that big audience, how do you convert them? It's all good people finding memes funny, but they've got to create a wallet and buy a meme coin. How do you get that person from being interested in Ponke, in this case, to buying your meme coin?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've got a lot of technology on our side. The recent launch of Moonshot goes a long way to very easily helping us to new users. People can download Moonshot on their mobile device and essentially click a link on our Instagram stories and buy right there with Apple Pay or GPay or whatever, whatever they've got on their phone. Revolut is another one. People are literally doing their banking on Revolut. And so listing with them was really important to us because it opened us up to 45 million banking users whose money is literally there in the app, right? And they can just move it on over to Ponke if they're interested. And then, of course, Ponke Swap is another means to provide a safe platform for people to swap to Ponke. If you're not someone that's a crypto user, yeah, you still need to download Phantom as an extension on your browser or as an app on your phone. You still have to go through that process, but now we're providing a first party landing page for you to make that swap and make the leap into joining the Ponke army. I just was thinking like, yes, now we've got technology, now we've got our own platform, but I also wanted to say, just to differentiate Wudang and some of the other memes that are out there when compared to Ponke. Wudang started as a meme, right? A cultural phenomenon that became a meme, and they more or less fit the meme coin into that position, right? But like Ponke started as a meme coin, so we're a meme coin first that's sort of building the brand around that, and I think that you're going to find many differences in adoption rates when you've got something that is this big cultural phenomenon that becomes a meme, or a meme that much later becomes a meme coin. I'm thinking about Doge, for example. Doge was a meme that existed for a decade or whatever before it really took off as a cryptocurrency. And a lot of Doge's success, I think, comes down to Elon Musk and his support. But it was also something that was widely familiar with many, many people before becoming a meme coin. And in our case, we're building something from the ground up. So there's this natural, I think, tendency to maybe expect slower adoption rates, but the best that we can do is make it easy for people, and that's really why we've set out with the listing strategy that we have, because we are putting out reels that are viewed by millions of people. We've got 60,000 holders. We view that as a massive opportunity to bring people in, and I think we do ask that question every single day, like, what can we do to inspire people to make that leap and to join the Ponke army? I think a lot of people are motivated by price, and if the price isn't actively going up, they're not actively buying. We can't change that at all. There's nothing that we can do to motivate someone in that scenario. But what we hope to do is build culture that people want to be a part of. I think back to my time trading NFTs too, and this notion that like there were only 10,000 NFTs and you bought them to be part of a community, but the barrier for entry was much higher than a meme coin. It costs thousands of dollars to buy a Bored Ape. I think the Pudgy Penguins floor might be 20K, but to buy a single Ponke token, it's maybe 45 cents. And there are 555 million of them. So we see ourselves as being more accessible. It's just a matter now of like, how do we break through and show people that this is a space worth being a part of?
Absolutely. I think one thing that has been interesting with the meme coin market this year, at least, is the emergence of original memes, like you just mentioned. Ponke is an original meme created to be a meme coin. We've seen other projects do the same. Fwog is a great example of an artist that just made really good art, and people were behind it,
Yeah.
and they like seeing it go on Twitter, and it's really great to see. Um, Have you got any other plans to sort of expand your content strategy? How are you going to keep it interesting and mix it up going forward?
Yeah. You'll continue to see growth on Instagram and TikTok and on our tenor page where we upload new GIFs. Really, almost every day we're uploading a new GIF or two. Um, we've obviously got these mascot suits, so you'll be good to see Ponke in more real life locations. We've done a lot of IRL activations in South America. Actually, we just recently had an event in Argentina. We did one in New York City. I can't recall which park, but we did some school supplies for back to school. So we aim to be out there in the world, and that's I think a big thing that you'll see becoming more of a priority for us. We've got some great partners that we've been talking to for quite a long time around some real world activities. That's sort of the next step. Again, like going back to the NFT days, a lot of NFT projects were like putting up billboards in Times Square. They're putting ads on taxis. That's not where we want to be. We want to show up in a more authentic way and in a way in which people can engage directly with the brand. And so that's sort of the next phase, I think, of our outbound growth, just in terms of how we get out in front of people.
We're coming to the end here. It's my final question. Sort of looking forward over the next year or so, how far do you think this content strategy can take you guys?
That's a great question. I guess it'll take us as far as we're able to remain relevant. We only have 410,000 followers on Instagram, right? Like that's the way we look at it. We only have 410,000 followers on Instagram. There are many more people out there in the world that haven't yet encountered Ponke and that can and that will follow us and that will get involved. And so we're always thinking about this next opportunity, this next soldier in the Ponke army, and how we can get in front of them. It's really impossible to say where all of this is going. I think that meme coins are maybe less a flash in the pan than NFTs were. And I don't think that memes have really even started when you think about the kind of mania and levels that NFTs reached. We haven't seen meme coins on an NBA player's shoe. You know what I mean? Like we haven't seen the kind of crazy activations that we've seen in previous cycles with these sorts of brands. I know that Web2 brands are interested. Lamborghini recently released a teaser trailer for a product that they're working on with Animoca Brands, and I know that they've been looking for token partners to bring into the game. And like we haven't seen anything in that respect yet. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. That's really the answer
Yeah.
I've got. We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that as well. It's something that I've been thinking about recently. Is it feels like we're in a bull run, but we haven't seen those crazy things happen yet, like you mentioned. I asked my friend group, who none of them are involved in crypto, have you even thought about crypto or heard about it at all lately? And all of them said no. So fingers crossed, that's a good sign. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Ponky. It was great speaking to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.